Hello everyone, Edain here, and welcome back to the Edain mod, where today we've got the final faction guide for Belfalas, and the final faction for the Men of the West. So, same as always, we have four categories to go over: core mechanics, strengths, weaknesses, how I play them, and how to beat them. A lot of these are now going to feel very repetitive because I've already shown off Gondor and Arnor. And the Men of the West factions in general just have a lot in common. But Belfalas has some mechanics that are unique to them. Starting off with their mechanics, the coastal economy of the fishing boats is the only faction that runs the fishing boats, and also has various buffs for your coastal units. Namely, just to you can see here, we have the dreadnoughts, the siege vessels, battleships from Dol Amroth, and the fishing boats. All of these are actually available for Gondor and Arnor as well, but Belfalas only has the fishing boats. But also, you have different upgrades from your archery range. You have the defensive measures, so your fishing boats can defend themselves. You get improved sea bows, so increase the range of your main shooting ships. And then the splinter arrows make it so they reduce the armor and attack of your enemies. So yes, in the seas, Dol Amroth should be superior to all, as they are the largest fiefdom and coastal region of Gondor. Say maybe like Pelagia or Lebanon, I'm not going to go into that. They also have, same as Gondor and Arnor, a heavy infantry presence, and same as Gondor, they have the fiefdoms as well. The fiefdoms may look a little bit different compared to the fiefdoms of Gondor, because I've already said in the past that they did just decide to give them a whole new look for Belfalas. You've got the Lamadan clansmen instead of Pinithgellan swordsmen, or whatever they were called. The Ravenbeak warriors of Nimrased instead of the Sarnak axemen. The fishermen of Belfalas instead of the Pelagia trolls benders. And the protectors of Andras instead of the Blackroot Vale archers. I've probably got half of them wrong, knowing me. But yeah, Belfalas definitely has got some big things going for them when it comes to strengths, mainly in their cavalry departments. Because Imrahil is changed to, instead of being a hero that boosts all fiefdom troops, because technically all of this is fiefdom troops, you have a free tactics to boost just cavalry. You have a cavalry focus on the battlefield as Dol Amroth, as it makes sense, along with your son Amraphos, who can, with his son Amraphos, who can ride on a mount, but actually goes along with having more of an early game roster presence with the squires, which are units that do eventually get a formation, so they're technically more powerful if you know how to use the formations of Gondor compared to the emergency mobilization of Denethor, which removes the formations from your basic troops. So these units can actually get stronger, and they also obviously get better through different abilities like Amraphos, giving them bonus experience so they can get to level 2 quicker. As well as your main troops being, again, just very good. And always on a good point. Especially since you have the Dol Amroth soldiers, or known as here Tarnos Frontier Guard, just buffing all your troops other than themselves, which is really, really good. And then obviously the Knights of Dol Amroth, same as with the Border Guard post of Gondor, they just boost all cavalry around them. But for your outpost, you instead get this unit, a versatile veteran of Osgiliath unit, which comes at level 5, has a mixture of both swords and spears, and are permanently affected by the formations of Gondor, which means they get a bonus 10% of damage and armor because they are an elite unit. And then that, of course, also counts towards your Swan Knights if they could change formations, but they cannot. They instead are slightly more focused around us being around Imrahil, giving them getting bonus damage and armor, and when they're far away they get speed. But they also can just heal with every melee attack and strike enemies back. But to be fair, that's what the Fountain Court Guards can do with one of their formations. So in a way, Gondor still reigns supreme with the best of the best in the late game. Only in the very, very late game, of course. Before that, you've definitely got a better early game presence with Belfalas. Gondor has the best late game presence. Arnor has the best hero and heroic presence, technically, because, you know, the heroic elf units go along with the rest of your faction. However, to complement that, you do have a few weaknesses in that your archers are weaker. In the sense that, for one, the Belfalas archers are the only archer you can recruit from your archery range, and you can get no heroes from the archery range either, which is why the stables are so important and why you're incentivized to go cavalry, because you don't have that much of an archer presence. And the only way to get your elite archers, your version of the rangers, is the Dol Amroth sailors, is by getting the hero Kilion, who is a permanent ranged hero, who has to target a single what are they called again? Lighthouses. You have to target a lighthouse, and then they can recruit the Dol Amroth sailors from there. So you can't even get them without needing the hero. He is a mandatory piece of the puzzle. Obviously, you also can't get composite bows without this first. Keeping that in mind. You also, as I said before about the docks being good with these fishing boats, not every Dol Amroth map or every Belfalas map has these ports. So this extra thing, these extra abilities from Lothiriel and from Elfia, mean absolutely nothing if you don't have the ports. And this lighthouse building is pointless with the fishing boat cost reduction if you don't have the docks. The only thing they give is your sailors, and obviously the decent defenders. But to be fair, as a faction that is cavalry-centred, you should probably go for the farms instead. Not to mention the fact that you also get more money from them thanks to the Grand Harvest. And obviously you've also got the fiefdom troops if you ever want to go down that route. But the maps you do get with the docks, you definitely have a bigger presence. The ones you don't have, you do lose some of that extra presence, and you will find skirmishers are better for you. Like small running around with cavalry is better than full-blown attacks in most parts of the game, because your heroes have so many different split objectives. Like I said already, Imrahil focuses cavalry only, with a few abilities that he has from his other side on Gondor, but he does get a different ability called Sally, which is basically the water horses of Elrond, but in the form of as literal horses of Dol Amroth. You also get Boromir though, so you can always trust Boromir to give all those squires that can't get forge blades and heavy armor, just give them forge blades and heavy armor by claiming the One Ring. So now we come to how I play them, and it's a rinse and repeat of Gondor and Arnor, really. Go for cheap troops to start with. Thankfully, you have got fiefdoms, unlike Arnor, so like with Gondor, you can go for you can go for less money spent on units and more money spent on making more money and getting your heroes. Lothiriel, Amraphos, and Elfia are the three you should be getting all the time, because you can get them quite easily. Elfia comes from the barracks, and Amraphos and Lothiriel come from the citadel. Imrahil can come from the barracks or the stables. Obviously, the barracks is the better place for him to come from. I would also say, on top of that, you have to think about getting the border guard post, because the veterans are so valuable. They're expensive, yes, but the value they give, because they're a level 5 unit immediately. Think of it as like with Isengard and their Uruk-hai. This unit could probably be a level 5 Uruk-hai unit with their own upgrade, with all the upgrades they can get. Look at all the buffs they're getting. They're glowing, they've got a yellow aura, and I think there's something else going on with them as well. But that just might be my imagination. Oh, no, there is. There's a little aura going on underneath them as well. That's the Formations of Gondor, Boromir, I'd like to call him Berefor, I've been playing 3rd Age. Boromir's leadership, and the leadership from the... yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot to go with. And as I said already, when you can, get some fishing boats and get them deployed. You can even use Lothiriel's ability to give them bonus resource generation. Or, you know, if you have a need for vision, you can, you know, if this ability wasn't enough for you, you could use it on a lighthouse to give permanent vision, I think.
Your efforts did not go
Yeah, just give that fishing, but that fishing, what is it called? The lighthouse. Oh my god. You can tell I don't like this building at all because I just don't even know its name. But yeah, do what you can with what you've got. Don't be afraid to spam out cheap troops, supplemented by fiefdoms before you start going for mostly your key Dol Amroth units. You will always want a unit of these Tarnos Frontier Guard at all times. All that requires is a tier 2 barracks and 500 resources, decreased by if you have, you know, townhouses and so forth. And just make what you've got work, and you will be absolutely fine, honestly. This faction, I originally, when I was thinking about it, when I was going through it a few months back now, before my last game with Belfalas, I really struggled to understand the faction because I was going mainly these troops and fiefdom troops when I could. I wasn't using the squires enough, or I was using them too much and relying on them only. I found going with their archers means that your archer range is pretty much useless. You don't need it. You can just get rid of it. You never even need it because you can get archers for half price. And yes, they may not have fire arrows, but you can get fire arrow archers for free from the assistance in times of need. It's a shame that the archer ranger's only value is buffing ships. But as I said, most maps don't have ships with Belfalas, sadly. So you've got to work around that fact. So the archer range, never need to use it. Arnor is a faction that uses a lot of archers. Gondor, you can use quite a bit of archers. But with Belfalas, honestly, forget about your archers. Focus on your infantry and practice using cavalry very well. And hammer and anvil, you will be nearly unstoppable. You'll be surprised how good you are with this faction once you get all the nuances under control. And lastly, we need to go over how to best them. And unfortunately, it is again the same as Gondor and Arnor. Pick apart their heroes. Pick apart their ways of being strong so that they are weak. They are easily defeated. Avoid their powers. They have got some difficult powers. Instead of the Grey Company, they've got the Defenders of Henneth and Noon. So it's basically a Howdare situation. 3 units of archers along with Faramir can be very, very devastating. And they're Philian Rangers, so do not underestimate them. Obviously, Pleats the Eagles and Army of the Dead should also, just by their names alone, not be underestimated. Those 2 powers can destroy entire armies if allowed to. You need a good, decent archer presence if you're going to deal with the Eagles. Otherwise, you're just going to have to take some big hits. And Army of the Dead, unless you've got like Word of Power or magic damage, you're not doing anything to the Warriors of the Dead. But other than that, Gondor, Arnor, Belfalas all have the same weaknesses of, again, pinpoint the heroes, take them out, take out all leaderships you can, because their units in general are good, but they are not great. Take them out without their support, and they will easily crumble. And Belfalas may put up more of a fight, because they have so much going for them when it comes to spamming units. Although I never see them use the squires, I one day hope that will be changed, if the AI knows how to. But yeah, as long as you keep your casualties low or manageable, if you're a faction that's capable of spamming constantly, you'll just be able to overwhelm a Belfalas faction quite easily. Same as Gondor, same as Arnor. And that's it. This was a very quick video, honestly. I didn't expect it to be a very long one because, again, the strategies for how I play with them and against them are just basically rinse and repeat of what I've already talked about. Gondor and Arnor and Belfalas are all similar, but they do have differences enough, as I've already said at the beginning, to make them fun and diverse. Use that diversity to find a way to win or beat them, depending on, obviously, which is which. And, Siege exists. If you want to make Siege, go for it. If you do, I will, I'll nod my head at you, just saying, okay, go for it. I'm disappointed, but go for it. I'm not going to blame you for going for Siege sometimes. Sometimes it's necessary. Hope you all enjoyed this series. I'm going to take a few days off to just relax for a bit and then plan what I'm going to do next with the channel. Probably just more skirmish games for a month. And then if I can think of something interesting, I'll try it. I'll see you all very soon. See ya.